Everybody, my name is Spammals and welcome to I Love You, Colonel Sanders, that one game made by the restaurant KFC, because why not? It's 2019, anyone can make games nowadays. I know nothing about this, haven't a clue, but I have heard it's very good. And it's a dating simulator, I've just noticed. Well, I'm lonely, damn it, it's Christmas, I want someone to love. And so, without any more stalling, let's begin! A finger-licking good dating simulator. There's something so wrong about that sentence. Before we get started, tell us your name. Spammals. You sleep softly as the morning sun casts a warm glow through the window of your modest student apartment. The world is peaceful and serene. You could stay in the moment forever. Oh God! Oh, you could wake up now! Now! Your first day of culinary school is no time to sleep in! Throw the clock out the window. Yep. You slept through the school year and gave up on the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet Colonel Sanders. Game over! Okay, fantastic beginning. Incredible. Let's try that again. Smack that clock! Yes, laying in bed, you stare at the ceiling thinking about everything that awaits you at the prestigious University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. Your mind begins to wander. Who will be there? What will you cook? What should you wear? Time begins to fly by and you find your imagination getting away from you. You need to take this seriously. You allow yourself to daydream a bit thinking about the future. No! This is serious business! I better make sure to arrive prepared for the first day. You bust through the morning checklist. Teeth brushed, hair combed, pits deodorized. Nothing can stop you now. Confidently grab a biscuit, strut out the door, and head off to class. Just what you needed to get the blood flowing. That's some finger-licking good dating simulator stuff there. Standing in the quad, you gaze up upon the magnificent University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. Here comes your lifetime best friend forever, Miriam. Let's go with Miriam. She's the most adorably awkward person you've ever met, and you absolutely loved her for it. Good morning, Spammals! Are you excited for your first day of the rest of your lives? Actually, because I am excited, a little nervous, okay, a lot nervous. What the? It's just that this morning I made breakfast for myself, but, well, when I ate it, I couldn't taste any love in the food. What if I'm no good? What if I fail? Classic Miriam. Raised by Master Chef parents, she always held herself to a very high standard. Ever since we were little babies playing together and you rescued me from that quick sandbox, yes. It's been clear to me that you are the most loving, caring person I know. You're going to do great. But the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning's famous 3-day-only semesters, I'm afraid of being left behind and never catching up. A sweet girl Miriam has always had a flair for the dramatic. This summer, she got so nervous about the first kiss that she chipped a tooth practicing on a mannequin. Prep talk, your best friends. Remember last month when we saw the fortune teller and had our tarot cards read? A lady with the mask who gave me nightmares. I've been trying to forget. I know she looks spooky. Believe me, but she was so sweet, and she told you that you were destined for great things. Remember that card with the fancy-looking tower, and that other card featuring the handsome fella in the red shirt? I've been waiting for so long to meet a handsome fella I could call my own. I'm sure you will soon. Calm it down. In no time, we'll be graduating, and you'll be delighting the world with your heartfelt cooking in no time at all. As you talk Miriam up, you can feel her nerves begin to ease. You know what? Maybe everything will be okay after all, and if not, at least I have these killer bangs. Can you believe I cut them myself? You can definitely believe it. I cannot believe it. Before you can get another word out, you're rudely interrupted when someone smacks your books and custom engraved measuring spoons out of your hands and onto the ground. It's Ashley, your arch rival. She's totally evil, but you can't help but be filled with jealousy. She can get anything she wants and she knows it. Hello, Ashley. Oh, I didn't see you there, chicken shits. You leave Spammal shits alone. They're perfectly normal shits. Oh, you can't stand Ashley. Even her name is annoying. You know for a fact that it's actually Ashley, but she had to add an extra letter to make herself feel better than everyone. If anyone here knows what perfect shades look like, it's us! We're not going to let you or your really weird insults get to us. Across the quad, you can see Ashley's best friends. Van the man has stopped to look at his own reflection in the mirror. His pants are so tight you can see him carefully working out his glutes while he styles his hair. No lie, they're rocking glutes. Van, you rang. Oh, look at this guy. Woo! You've never been sure what their arrangement is, but as long as you've known them, Ashley and Van have been just as close as you and Miriam, but substantially more devious. That's a ginormous belt. I can't believe that University of Cooking School Academy for Learning would ever allow people like you to attend as students. I know, right? You think they'd just hand us out diplomas now? Or maybe hired us as professionals? You amateurs could learn a lot from us. The first day of school about to start, there's no time to properly tell these two off, so you resist the urge. Let's go, Miriam! See you later, losers! As you approach the door, you see a goofy-looking kid pushing hard against the window directly next to it. Oopsie! I think it's broken! Reach forward and easily pull open the door. That should do the trick. I love you! I think you mean thank you. My name is Pop. I was named after my Pop. He's old. Someone like this also be a student at this school. He must be one heck of a chef. Also, his name tag clearly says Bob, but I guess he's reading it upside down. Hi, Pop. I'm Spammals. So, are you going to make me hold this door all day? With that, the young man walks into the building ahead of you. Is it just me, or is he kind of cute? Miriam, he's like 2 years old. Back down. I think it's just you. You both shrug your shoulders before following him into the building. Stand at the edge of the room, unsure where to sit. Other students wander in and keep themselves busy by chit-chatting. A scruffy-looking pooch takes his place at the podium of the front of the class. Adorable! Sprinkles? Oh, what a lovely name. Oh no, quiet down, everybody. Who is this unreasonably cute Pop, and why is he in our culinary class? You must be Sprinkles, head instructor and CEO of the USC. Look at him! Please call me Professor Dog. I may be cute and a little fluffy, but I still demand respect. What? A cute dog is our professor. This is the best school ever. I guess only a dog's nose is capable of picking up all the nuances of fine dining. Out of nowhere, wind begins to swirl around you as a swirl of cherry blossom petals fill the air inside the classroom. I'm chilly, someone close the window. And then he walks in. You're immediately swept up in the aura of this new student and his remarkable goatee. Who knew anyone could be so handsome? Time stands still. It's him! If it isn't my favorite student, Harlan, Colonel Sanders interrupts Sprinkles, Professor Dog, before he can finish his sentence.
Please, call me Colonel. Colonel Sanders.
A hushed murmur rolls through the classroom as Colonel Sanders walks down the aisle of desks. Suddenly, the room is sweltering. Sweat begins to bead across your brow. You feel like everyone is looking at you, and you're not entirely wrong. And this over here must be Sweaty Sweatalot. Maybe we should open the window back up before a faucet pit melts into a puddle and evaporates entirely. Hold on a second! Nobody talk to my friend like that! You two both know who I am. We were in the same kindergarten classes. And what's with all these really weird insults? Besides, when Spammals sweats, it's not gross, it's beautiful! Look at them shimmer! Oh. Take a moment to clean yourself up. The good thing you didn't forget about the deodorant this morning. This classroom is hot. Professor Dog steps in to settle the class down and get some ground rules. Welcome to University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, the greatest culinary academy in the world. Birthplace of culinary legends past, present, and future. Many challenges await you. There will be tears. There will be blood. There might even be really adorable tiny foods. And when all is said and done, there will be a battle! You will lift your sporks and compete in the broom cooking arena. Just then, another student enters the classroom and interrupts the professor's rousing speech. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I hope everybody had a good summer. I really missed— Quiet! Well, that's an unhappy doggo there. Late to class is bad enough, but interrupting my monologue— You're on the fast track out of here, young man. And are you sure you're even in the right place? Don't you recognize me? This is my 3rd year in this school, with you as my teacher. Everyone stares at him blankly. Does nobody remember me? I'm expelled if you utter one more word before I finish. Let that be a lesson to you students that tardiness is unacceptable. Even Clank made it here on time, rolling halfway across town on his tiny wheels. You turn to see the student Sprinkles is referencing, who appears to be some sort of industrial kitchen appliance. It's Clank, everybody! Clank! Everyone knows Clank. Loki looks like the robot from Wallace and Gromit when they go to the moon. Class bursts into laughter. Oh, Clank, you rascal. Sprinkles walks in the classroom as everyone stands in silent obedience. When he gets to you, he lifts his nose into the air and takes a deep sniff. Your diet is lacking. Based on what I'm picking up here, you definitely need a multivitamin. You should be taking better care of yourself. I've never had a talking dog as a teacher before, but Sprinkles' reputation for being smart but tough is well known. Decides to try and butter him up by giving a treat from your pocket. But what kind? Beef, a rubber ball, or a chicken snack? I'm gonna go with the rubber ball because it's not food. You reach beneath your apron and return with a rubber ball in your hand. Sprinkle's eyes go wide as he locks onto it. You toss the ball and he bounds after it, grabbing it in his mouth and swinging it from side to side before dropping it. The thrill passes quickly. It's not clear if that endeared you to him or not. Settle down, young chefs. Take your seats and prepare to have your minds open to the amazing possibilities of culinary creation. As everybody rushes to claim their favorite seats, you're left standing at the front of the room. Only two options remain. Hey, Spammals! There's still a seat here!
It seems that no one has claimed the seat next to me. If you're interested.
Oh, the dilemma, everybody. Do I sit next to Colonel Sanders? Oh, what a guy! Or do I join my best friend? I should really join my best friend. Be a douche move not to. Apparently, I'm attracted to Colonel Sanders, and this could be my opportunity to get in. I mean, look at him, so dreamy! Picking Sanders, sorry. He moved to take your seat by Colonel Sanders. It appears he brought no books, pens, or pencils. However, his perfect upright posture shows off a seriousness that makes you confident in his desire to learn. Thanks for offering me the seat, mate.
I've only had 2 rules. Do all you can and do it to the best you can. It's the only way you ever get that feeling of accomplishing something.
That's so inspiring. A little off topic, if you ask me, but okay. As soon as you've settled into your seat, the professor makes an announcement. Think fast, it's time for a pop quiz. Hey, a quiz about me! This incredibly important and surprisingly short quiz will tell me if you are ready for life at culinary school. Keep your knife sharp and your focus sharper. Here comes question number 1. If train A is traveling to point B and train B is traveling to point A, how important is it to wash your hands before cooking? Extremely! Looking at you, Pop! That's right! Forest is to tree, as chicken is to nuggets. Feathers. That's right! What is the most efficient eating utensil ever created? It's clearly gonna be a spork. It's part spoon, part fork. Spork. That's right! What food is best for a broken heart? Anything as long as it's prepared with love and not too much salt? That's right! Yeah! The Sprinkle's a good boy. Yes, you are. That's wrong. He is nothing but the best. Oh, for God's sakes. The total score is 4 out of 5. That'll have to do. Only one wrong. Not too shabby. You might do all right, kid. You look up to see that Colonel Sanders has been watching your tally your score. He nods with approval. May I have your attention, students? I have an important announcement to make. Time for lunch! Wow, the cafeteria is as nice as any restaurant you've ever eaten at. It makes sense that the school dedicated to cooking would also be serious about eating. A delicious fragrance wafts through the room and tickles the end of your nose. Your mouth waters. Do you smell that? That must be our lunch. It smells crazy good. Everyone, can I have your attention? Is it about lunch? No, I just wanted to apologize for my tardiness. You see, I want...
Howdy, folks. I'd like to make an announcement.
Hey, I want...
It's about lunch.
Everyone cheers. But I... Shush! Lunch! She said shush.
In honor of our new semester, I have prepared something special to share with everyone for lunch.
That must be the smell I smelled!
Indeed, that smell.
Hold your breath, waiting to see what food this mysterious student has created. You've heard that he's very talented, but were the rumors true?
Here's this.
Wow! Colonel Sanders lifts a large bucket above his head. Its contents glimmer in the light. Piled high are huge pieces of chicken, breaded and fried in a crispy golden finish. The aroma envelops you, and you begin to feel warm inside. Colonel Sanders has filled a bucket with chicken chicken! What a novel concept! Your stomach begins to grumble, as if to say, stop thinking and start eating!
For years, I have been developing a secret recipe for this perfectly fried chicken. By my calculations, nothing less than 11 herbs and spices are required to achieve the perfect balance of flavor.
Look around and notice that every other student has a pen and paper and is scribbling notes as fast as they can.
That's all I have to say about that.
What? You think we want your stupid recipe, dude? My dude, nah. I'm just drafting a last-minute testament in case one of those ingredients is poison. Got him. He looks around nervously to see if anyone else is laughing at his sick burn. He waits to see what zinger Ashley has prepared to follow up, but she suddenly takes a different approach. Yeah, and I was just like writing in my diary. Dear diary, today I smelt something beautiful. I knew at that moment that only the hands of a true gentleman could fry a chicken so tender. You see her body language change from bitter and evil to sweet and innocent as she slides closer to Colonel Sanders. She realizes that he is destined for greatness and fame with cooking skills like this. She wants him all to herself. Oh, please.
Well, Van the Man, if you don't want any,
I'll take his. Whoa, hold on. I guess I'll try it. He takes one bite and his eyes grow wide. He starts contorting his face as he tries to hold in the pure exhilaration and act unimpressed.
Easy now, there is enough for everybody, please. My fellow classmates, dig in!
You take one of the pieces of fried chicken out of his bucket and sink your teeth into it. It's amazing! Tasting Colonel Sanders' food transports you to another dimension. Alone with your taste buds gripping a drumstick with your hand, you float weightlessly. Savor the moments and everything that it tells you about Colonel Sanders' culinary heart. The flavors in your mouth are beautiful, pure, heavenly. What a guy! Alone with the flavors, you feel something that can only be described as love. For a man, for a flavor. Are they the same? After tasting his food, you try to get some one-on-one time with Colonel Sanders. You approach Colonel Sanders. Colonel Sanders smiles ever so softly as you approach. He stops what he is doing and allows you to break the silence. Colonel, I wondered if I could talk to you for a second.
Anything for a fellow chef. I don't know why he sounds like this, but he does.
What exactly was on that chicken?
How bold to come and ask! It's an idea I had for a new combination of flavors that will make me a fortune and establish my legacy for all time as I open a chain of highly successful fried chicken restaurants. No big deal.
It's just you and me here talking. I can keep a secret. In fact, I've got some of my own that I'd be willing to trade.
What's the rush? The semester is only getting started. We've got 2 more whole days to get to know each other.
It's clearly not going to give up that easily, but it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You know what they say about secrets, Colonel? Shouldn't learning be fun?
You've got moxie. I'll give you that.
Colonel Sanders looks both ways to make sure you're truly alone, and then he leans in. You can feel his warm breath as he whispers.
Just one ingredient, but you can't tell. I use It's something my great-grandmother taught me.
Wow, you'd never have guessed that. In fact, you're not even sure where you'd get some if you searched. While you're wrapped up in that huge revelation, you notice that Colonel Sanders has disappeared. While everyone else is still in the cafeteria, you decide to look for him. You find Colonel Sanders outside standing in the squad.
Oh, it's you again. Howdy. Sometimes I like to come outside and look at the school buildings. I think about how my story will continue on after I graduated.
Sounds like you have big plans there, Colonel.
I dare say the biggest. I will leave my mark on this world. You can bet on that.
Alone together for the first time, you figure now is the perfect moment to show your personality to him. Be modest but thoughtful. Well, I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed your food. Now you've got his attention. The flavors were complex but comforting. The interplay between salty and savory and peppery, it was perfect.
I appreciate the compliment, Spammals.
I'm sure you'll be a big success.
I know we've only met today, but I'm starting to get the same feeling about you. We should head back inside. The next lesson starts soon.
It's like he knows me. Step into the massive cooking arena where the afternoon lesson will take place. Each student gets an oven and all of the tools and ingredients they could need. Look at this place, it's magnificent! Finally, we get to show our stuff! Wait a second, oh no! We have to show our stuff! What if I totally blow it? You're not gonna blow anything, except maybe kisses to the crowd of fans you're going to earn with your signature, adorable tiny food creations. Welcome, students, to the cooking arena. For today's lesson, we'll be cooking with partners. Hurry up and pair off. Actually, Miriam looks over at you. but unable to control yourself, you pounce on Colonel Sanders. Oh no! Hey, Colonel! Would you like to tackle this lesson as a team? A team of 2? That's me, and that's you. If that wasn't clear. Want to be my partner?
Well, sure, Spammals. I'll prepare our station.
But you as a partner. Miriam is left standing all alone. 2 different students quickly take notice. Hello, new partner! Oh boy! 2 potential partners! I'm so sorry, gentlemen, but I don't know who to choose! Looks like you'll have to pick for her. French duties can be a little awkward, but that's the price you pay for not being alone forever. Who do you want to ask to be Miriam's partner? Clank! Because Pop would be terrible. Sorry, Pop, but I think Miriam will be partnering with Clank today. It's okay, I already ate! It's not entirely clear if Pop has any idea what the point of school even is at this juncture. Clank is clearly excited to have some attention. He heats up and begins to roll back and forth. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hold on there, fella. We don't even know the assignments yet. Technically, Clank might not have a face, but there's something charming and earnest about him. Is you? I hardly know you. Clank judders and a panel shakes loose. You get the impression that there might be a sign of affection. Looks like you 2 will be fine. Now it's time to focus on your own cooking classwork. Alright, you 2. For today's lesson, we're going to keep it simple. Pick up a basic dish and divide up the steps. No chef is an island. It takes 2 flints to make a fire. You get the idea? Which dish do you suggest to your partner, Colonel Sanders? Grandma's mashed potatoes and gravy! I've always been something of a down-home chef. I was thinking we could make something warm, inviting, comforting. Maybe mashed potatoes?
And gravy!
I couldn't imagine one without the other. Colonel Sanders casts a coy look at you, causing your whole face to go beet red. Embarrassed, you quickly turn away. I'll go get the potatoes.
No, please, let me. Picking perfect produce is a passion of mine.
Looks like things are getting pretty fresh around here. Does someone have a crush on Colonel Sanders? Just cooking partners, mind your own business. Sanders art is my business, and you'd better keep your fingers off my man. Hey, there. Did somebody call for me? Oh, no, jeez, Van. While I'm over here crushing Spammals' dreams, you're supposed to be taking care of our classwork. That was the deal, remember? Colonel Sanders returns, arms full of peeled potatoes. He tosses them into a boiling water and turns his attention to you and your old friends.
Oh, howdy there, Ashley, Van. Are we working in a quartet instead of a duo now?
Actually, no. It looked like Spammals was struggling, so we offered to give him a hand. You know how he is there. They're young, amateur chefs, needs a lot of mentoring. I was gonna say, Colonel Sanders, maybe I could also teach you a thing or 2 about fancy foods. Maybe one day you might be able to get up to my level. Ha! Doubt it. Hey, don't be rude, Van. Personally, I have no doubts whatsoever about Colonel Sanders' ability to concoct creations worthy of admiration. After all, your fried chicken was quite spectacular. But Colonel, if you ask me, I might make a better partner for you than this. This thing that has positioned itself at your station. Don't you feel, deep down, that we cast complementary shadows? We fit together like a thing and a drumstick. It makes sense. Nothing about this makes any sense, but one thing is clear. She's coming for the Colonel if you don't watch out. Ashley is really going at it hard. Ashley is really going at you hard. You need to ask for some backup here before things get ugly. Turn to Miriam, your forever bestie who always has your... Yeah, Miriam. Let's get Miriam in here, everybody. Return to Miriam. And as soon as you find her, she senses it and looks back. This girl's friend in need radar is second to none. She's immediately coming running over. Is somebody threatening my friend? I will destroy them! I actually think that Ashley and Van were just leaving. Hey, leaving you in the dust. Vis-a-vis my skills as a chef. Perhaps, but stepping away from a competition, you are surely mistaken.
Miriam, you're a loyal friend, but Spammals is my partner for today's activity.
You look for Sprinkles in hopes that he might step in, but he's nowhere to be found. Darn those cute corgis and their stout but sturdy statures. You look down at your station and realize that, in the tension of the moment, your hands have been cooking on autopilot. Distracted by the drama, you've already crushed the boiled potatoes into a perfectly creamy mashed texture, with plenty of butter and cream for flavor. It's as if your natural passion guided you through the steps you know so well while your attention was elsewhere.
I know just what to do.
Colonel Sanders extends his hand. He's holding a beautiful white porcelain gravy boat, and out of nowhere pours a smooth brown gravy, smothering your nearly finished potato dish. Gravy flows down the mound of mashed potatoes, The results look spectacular. Granny would be very proud. Colonel Sanders holds a spork out to you. You reach out and grab hold of it, but he doesn't immediately let go. Two of you stand holding the same spork. And for that small moment, all of the madness and pressure in this crazy world stops. Your eyes lock. The moment is electric. Time stands still.
If you love something, set it free.
Together, you dig the utensil into the mashed potatoes and lift the heaping spockful up. When you see Ashley with a sinister look, you know she's plotting against you to be with Colonel Sanders. And then, filled with rage and without thinking, you fling the spockful of mashed potatoes right into Ashley's stupid, beautiful face. Van, do something, do something! Scooping up a fingerful, Van tosses the dripping mashed potatoes and gravy and realizes that it's delicious. Horrified by this revelation, he slinks away. Would he ever be able to cook something with so much love and integrity? Hold on right there, Spammals. We do not waste food in the broomy cooking arena. Colonel Sanders, I expect better from you. If you throw one more spoonful, you both better be prepared to eat it from wherever it lands. Can I have potato face? Van rushes back over, a covered dish in his hands. Mashed potatoes with gravy, pathetic. In just a few minutes, I prepared a full meal. Gaze upon my speciality, braised tentacle of octopus in a silky saltwater sauce, placed on a battle axe blade forged by my supreme chef ancestors. Who brings a battle axe to school? You've ignored me for too long. That ends now. It is I who will have the first bite, and you will all look on with envy. The interrupting student rushes at Van and swipes a bite of his signature dish right off his plate. No, don't! Something about that dish doesn't strike my nose quite right. I think that octopus was rushed and may have turned in the process. The results could be toxic. Too late. It has been eaten. I think I'll have something in the oven. I don't feel so good. It killed him! Everyone step back. Don't take another bite. When you look back at the plate, the rest of it is gone. You notice the tip of the tentacle being slurped into Pop's mouth. Pop winches in pain for just a moment, then is almost immediately back to his oblivious self. Popsy, tastes like poison. The entire class is gathered to watch Pop's final moments. Shock has frozen the whole crowd. They are as motionless as statues. Class bell rings, disrupting the moment and snapping everyone back to reality. It would appear that Pop's enthusiasm for trying new things, despite oblivious danger, has inoculated him against poisons of all kind. I'm not sure the professors here make enough money. Hello? I've turned into a ghost over here. Seeing that you're shaken up by that really annoying student and all this nonsense, Colonel Sanders approaches you.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. Please, let me walk you home.
What? For real? Oh, come on! You follow Colonel Sanders out of the room. At night, the school building has taken on another vibe entirely. It's dark and more than a little spooky. Colonel Sanders stands in the quad's neo-glow and speaks softly.
Those mashed potatoes you made in class today.
Before you go on, I want you to know they're not a great representation of my skills. I didn't even realize I was making them.
They were amazing. Tasting them, it reminded me why I became so passionate about food to begin with.
Colonel Sanders is getting choked up. Cooking is obviously important to him in a way that you find inspiring. Now might be the perfect time to tell him you're developing feelings for him. Colonel Sanders?
Yes? Spammals?
There's, something I've been meaning to tell you. Hold it right there! There's something I need to tell you first! Oh, jeez. You see, when I was just a boy, I had a dream that one day I would be the greatest chef in the world has ever seen. Every day since, I have been working toward that dream. Day and night, never stopping, never resting. Also, lifting a lot of weights, like so many weights.
We should all follow our dreams of all of our hearts, that our souls may grant them like wishes, floating on a shooting star.
Hey, no, you, shut up! I'm the one here to say inspirational stuff and be the star of the story. Are we forgetting that your cooking literally killed a guy? You can't prove that.
I actually saw you kill that guy. What was his name?
Somewhere in the distance, you hear a long, sad sigh. Forget him! We're talking about me! Me! I'm the hero! The Spork monster is here to fight a hero! Oh! I think I'll have to flip door door open. Later, nerds.
How dare you threaten me, just as I was letting down my guard and connecting with another chef on an emotional level. Be afraid. Be very afraid of me, because I'm a monster, see?
Is he rhyming on purpose, or is that just a coincidence? But before you can discuss syntax any further, it's a turn-based fight sequence! What will you do? I attack. You decided to go on the attack. Which attack will you use? Cooking with love. Cook with love does 1 damage. It just got real, everybody. Your attack really upset Spork Monster. Spork Monster goes on the attack. They spit hot gravy at you. You take 1 damage. Just double down the attack, everybody. You decided to go on the attack. It worked last time, right? Cook with love. Cook with love does 1 damage. Spork Monster won't forget this. Spork Monster is really feeling threatened by your attack. Spork Monster focuses their mashed mind and draws in energy from Mother Earth itself. They grow larger and more intimidating. How will you respond? Attacking has only made it worse. The time to defend has arisen. Defend. You decided to defend. Which defense will you use? Trepidation. Hold your head between your hands and mutter, "This is not happening! This is not happening!" Spork Monster is no quitter. Buffed up and ready to rumble, they go on the attack once again. Spork Monster uses Utilitensel. You take 2 damage from the attack. If you take much more damage, you're not going to survive the battle. Going back on the attack, everybody. Cook with love! Cook with love does 1 damage. Spork Monster is oozing cheese sauce onto the lawn of the quad. I wonder who is going to have to clean this up. Feeling vulnerable, Spork Monster prepares for his ultimate attack. Rounded Edge.
Vile villain! Your reign of terror stops here!
Colonel Sanders summons the energy of 1,000 chickens.
Hot Pie Power Pitch!
Hot Pie Power Pitch does 10 damage! Spork Monster is defeated. You saved me. An injured Spork Monster spews steam into the night. Forget mercy. Finish him. No student will ever walk the quad in fear again. This monster messed with the wrong chef. Attack. You ready? Your final attack. You'll never survive my Student Debt Loan Destruction. Student Debt Loan Destruction does 10 damage. Spork Monster is completely vaporized. Colonel Sanders looks on in awe.
You continue to surprise me, Spammals.
The defeated monster left behind a special item. It appears, at first, to be a cookbook, but upon closer inspection, it's so much more. It's a book of magic spells with a golden chicken on the cover. You open the cover and find a library card tucked inside. The last name to have signed out the book is Borko.
Borko. That name sounds strangely familiar.
Your blood is pumping as you stand in the quiet of the night, holding the mysterious book in your hands. As you calm down from your battle buzz, you realize that your final attack has left you completely depleted. The world around you begins to fade away. Without any energy to keep your eyes open, the darkness overtakes you. The image of Colonel Sanders flashes before your eyes as you fall asleep. He must have helped you get home. In your tired state, you don't know if you could have made it without him. What a guy. You want to thank him, but you don't have the strength to utter a single word. You feel the covers being pulled over you as you are tucked in tightly. Good night, my Colonel. In your dreams, you're together with Colonel Sanders. For some reason, Sprinkles is also there, instructing your love. Dreams are weird. You awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the Spork Monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might like Clank. Like him? Like? I know! It sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. We got talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school? No, but that does make complete sense. Yeah, but he was so popular that he was voted prom king at the school he didn't even go to, and was also the convertible that he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade. I'm thinking maybe something got got lost in pressure cooker language translation there. Either way, maybe I'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy. Like, I am with Colonel Sanders. You're a Colonel Sanders? The coolest guy in school? The most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? We definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? I figured the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You were great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes lit up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. This can't be good. He told me all about his passion for spices. Secret spices. Man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. It was so nice. He even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we've stayed in touch. You know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'll be much use to anybody. Please, it would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or the Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it with your bestie? Hey, we're protecting the secret. She has no reason to need it. Make up a fake ingredient. Quickly think of a fake ingredient's name. I don't know, how about it was Eye of Newt? I know, sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do? Eye of Roots? Wow! Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some fun typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders! He's arriving at school! Run to him. You decide that the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run to him. Surely, he'll sweep you up onto his back of his stallion and you'll ride away together. That'll show her good. Oh, Colonel, my girdle! However, your sudden movement surprised the horse and it rears up, kicking you directly in the face. The force of the blow completely knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision.
Spammals, I am here to deliver you a message.
Not this guy.
It is important that you remember this exactly as I say it. If you forget, the world could end, so you know it's serious. I have been trapped in a realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is repeat my name 3 times, and that name is...
Before you can continue, you're suddenly awake.
Oh, jeez.
You awake to find Colonel Sanders tending to you. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices, or is it just his natural seasoned musk? Lean in for a kiss! Whoa, 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 whoa. We've known him for a day. Are you really sure? I guess you must be. Put your arms around Colonel Sanders' neck and pull him in for a kiss. But he turns his face and you awkwardly kiss his ear. You can feel him shudder. Too soon! You clearly mistook his compassion for love. Your soul crawls inside itself and you instantly die of embarrassment. Game over! Try again. Compliment the craftsmanship of his horse's shoe. Maybe he shouldn't be riding a horse to school, and maybe you shouldn't be running up to animals you don't know. It's hard to say who was in the wrong here. One thing is for sure. Colonel Sanders is pretty dreamy. That horse has beautiful shoes. I could really feel how smooth and sturdy they were when they were pressing into my face.
That's nice to hear. No one truly appreciates good craftsmanship anymore.
With that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your 2 rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad. You try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulders, but it sees you coming. Hey, whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this.
Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey?
Act like you're not interested in them, but really try and get a closer look. You sit near the rivals, but leave your back turned to them. You even hear Van Van mutter something that sounds a bit like magic spells. However, he notices you eavesdropping. You try and cover your tracks and improvise an excuse. It's time for class and you're distracting the rest of us who want to learn. Now you've upset him.
Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules?
I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you.
Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache.
And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what they were hiding and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the Spork monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quads. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back.
I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom and its contents are secrets.
You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got pop pins to the wall and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch him in his mouth. They're playing it! Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Frank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bots. Hey, watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything to you. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a standard mixer. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room.
Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them.
Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely, he must know that this is a ruse, right?
Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on.
Maybe I could help you with your business plan.
Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog.
Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car around town and my tiny legs were very, very tired. But I'm here now. And I hope you're ready to learn.
You try to get Sprinkles a pat on the head, but he snarls at you.
Sorry, I get a little worked up when people try and pet me before I've had my morning coffee. Let that be a lesson to you.
Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs in the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's the scent left on you from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles jumps on you and licks your face.
Down, boy! Down! Off the...
That command shouted by Colonel Sanders has snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that.
Sorry, I got a little carried away.
After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom.
Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken.
Want to pay attention to the lesson? Truly, you do.
Which is why in 1776, as a signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name.
But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. And you come to. Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you.
Well, Spammals.
Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample?
I'm going for the glass of water.
Grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted in the mountain spring.
Hey, that was mine. It was from my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste.
Think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention.
We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch.
Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement.
Today's lunch will be prepared. Be a timed competitive cook-off.
The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Demands that they stop wasting everyone's time.
Is everything a competition with you two?
Yes.
But
it's not with me. I'm on a personal journey to learn, to love, to learn to love. Sure, why not? But definitely not to constantly battle.
Yeah, stop getting your genres crossed. Don't you have some portable monsters to capture or something?
I need to eat if I'm going to have the energy to sustain my education and to pursue my dreams of being a master chef.
How are we supposed to get anywhere if we're constantly fending off challenges from every know-it-all with an apron? Besides, I already brought my own lunch. Spammals, you should have it. It will give you the
energy you need to succeed. Miriam reaches out and presents you a gift. It's so small. A special creatures and tomato soup with chocolate milk to wash it down and a tartlet for dessert. It only takes about 5 seconds to eat Miriam's tiny food, but it's just what you needed for motivation. You know what? I learned enough for today. Let's battle! Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he put a stop to this madness. Oh, now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer! Just then, a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, "Timer ready!" That's what I'm talking about. Oh! I stand corrected. If it's a battle you want, it's a battle you'll get. My best to compete the best of them. Best believe it. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now it's my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature does water boil at? 100 degrees Celsius. Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs and spices? 11. That's right. You might not know of all the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've gotten some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Attitude was right. You must never take this opportunity for granted if you hope to succeed. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you never to forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy. So, where do you come from? That was wrong. This is a horrible time to start forgetting important things. Next question. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on the cooking. What is the sound of success? Silence. That's right! When they taste your cooking, they will be so taken in with it, they'll be unable to speak. You notice Colonel Sanders out there in the corner of your eye.
I believe in you, Spammals!
He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you're doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy? What? There was like 4 seconds. What were you thinking? Get your mind back into the competition. You were stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which one do you take? What a hunk! Oh, I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. Sorry, I forgot the question. What does this have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken? I don't know what I even clicked. I had no time to read anything. You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into the stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes! I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes it means sacrificing the personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Spammals does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough, you know, when it's properly mixed.
There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way.
When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer and rescue your dough before it's overmixed. Spammals, no! But you're not fast enough, and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quick spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use your hands for the rest of this match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame.
What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult.
Everyone, stop what you're doing right now. This battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Oh, that's too bad. And here I was with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. Oh no, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two dishes on account of Spammals' injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Spammals to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring the cream of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hands. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt right away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you'll find a delicately fried cheese croquant, atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nugget, and pearls of blueberry gelato. Colonel Sanders seems seems intrigued but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger in the chocolate sauce.
Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley?
Oh, you.
As he places a sauce-covered finger under his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Put yourself between Colonel Sanders and Ashley. Yep. You reach out with your apron to wipe the sauce off his glistening face. Colonel Sanders recoils and brushes you back.
This goatee isn't just a fashion statement, it's also functional. I was saving that flavor for later.
Oh, game over. Internalize the rage you feel. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. Flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried elbows, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love, and he's decided to get married. He won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly.
I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out.
Hey, I'm fine. Can you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef.
Failure is a part of life. Not just for you, but for us all. You think I've never failed at anything before?
That's exactly what I think.
Well, think again. I wasn't always this man you see before you, enroiled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, and motivated. Well, handsome, sure, I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel.
I didn't know.
People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together. Which is true for now, but wasn't always true.
Sounds like this guy could really use a hug.
I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would ever deter me from giving my best I had to give.
As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him. A burning passion.
One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds.
Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the Spork monster!
Gorko, the Spork monster, is here to fight a hero. Is anyone else feeling a bit of deja vu?
I'm sorry, Gorko, but I could have sworn we've already battled you last night.
That was Borko, my twin, and I, Gorko, am here to avenge them.
Are you stronger than Borko?
Well, we're twins, so no, not really. We're pretty much exactly equal in every way. Why'd you ask?
Colonel Sanders smirks. He is already on the same page as you. It's just that we beat Borko pretty easily, so I don't think you have much of a chance. Not to mention, I feel really guilty about that. If I could take it back, I would.
I think what Spammals is saying is, can't we just be friends? Life's too short for making enemies. I suppose we really don't need to fight. It's just that I've got these pointy teeth and claws. All the better for enjoying tasty foods. Surely you like to eat, don't we all? Of course I do.
Inspiration strikes, and you come up with a quick idea. Jump on this! You toss a biscuit into Gorko's open mouth, and he devours it in one gulp.
Delicious! You're much nicer than the evil students who once upon a time turned me into a creature who stands here today.
I don't believe it. You were once human.
Oh, no. I was a chinchilla, but I was still a student at this school. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed.
A magic spellbook?
Precisely. Borko used to have a copy, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you could find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there. Sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life, Spammals. Together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss.
A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel's home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders.
Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef.
Well, there's something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he started to wonder what dish she might be describing. Meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps. Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? Oh, I'm gonna reveal everything to him. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxury hideaway.
Magnificent!
Together, you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl.
Do you mind if I hold on to the last bites? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment.
You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. I also think he's gonna steal the recipe. Sure, why not?
Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in a moment.
You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap an item to discover more about the Colonel. I can't resist myself. I can't help but notice the giant cock on the table. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on the corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic. It's real! Taxidermy must have been important to Colonel Sanders when he was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Take a closer look at the large urn sitting on the nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lies the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. There's a vault on the side of the wall. This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment what number is important to Colonel Sanders, and it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? I don't know what that means. On hell of a view out that window. Gaze at the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of student pops up.
Are you actually thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death?
I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you?
I could just tell you my name right now. It's...
Can't you see him in the middle of something? Begone! You open the window a crack and the ghost of student is swept out with a breeze. Got little baby Colonel Sanders here. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and the mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's a drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of a company they founded, am I right? Let's go through the doorway, I'm bored here. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is too big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they mean? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. Try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket.
I don't usually loan nose out, but I must say, it does look good on you.
Grab the jacket! Forgot to take it off! Tell him you're cold. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I just got a little cold and I thought this might warm me up. Colonel Sanders smiles and scoots closer to the fireplace.
It's warm by the fire. Why don't you come a little closer?
Suddenly, everything feels like it's moving too fast. Final exams are tomorrow. You should be thinking about what you're going to cook. I should be home studying. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and you run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel.
Yes, Spammals?
I honestly think that this may be the beginning of something wonderful.
I think you're right. You should take things slow.
You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. Dream sequence. Dream sequence. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast and your mouth waters at the sight of it.
Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up.
It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question.
So, would you say that they were the perfect match?
How presumptuous!
My cuisine and your taste buds, that is.
Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift of cookery? Flatter him. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out of the window.
And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail.
Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly! Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning awaits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night! I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. Okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get up to speed with the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better keep your dials turned to the polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And no, I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story. However, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. Yo, what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection wowzers. Miriam offers to support you no matter what you do. Together with your besties, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the squad. You can tell from the distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. Master Swirly, it sounds delicious! Oh, it's great! I'll order you one up right away! I'll have my Swirly with sprinkles, please! Sprinkles is a dog and a treat! You can get your Swirly dipped too. Hey, why don't you pick on somebody your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school! There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school. But who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? Yeah, you got some nerve, Spammals, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have that. Clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever! Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something may have been going on.
Is everybody excited for that final day of school? Spammals, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon.
Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday, I almost broke a nail, winning so hard.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive.
What is he doing complimenting her? No, me. But what about the flavor of my delicious, warm, gooey chocolate sauce?
It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received.
That's a lot of words to say. It was bland.
Excuse me, Spammals. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself.
Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Spammals.
Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa! That's that book! It looks like bad news! It's just something I found laying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if they weren't really powerful? I can think of one suffice way to find out. You open to a page covered in arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic! Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory-erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. No. My love for Colonel Sanders can't be washed away by some arcane arcanite of forbidden wording languaging. No, don't do it after all. Take your friend's advice, and you put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up as he begins to breathe quickly. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you never to come back here, Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, but doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I'm tired, everybody. It's been a long recording session. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Spammals, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, before we can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class! Don't think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger! Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. Oh no! You have to show off to your cool kid friends, J&J forever! Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend! Triangles are the strangest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date! And take Jeff and Joe with you! You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain, or off a cliff for all I care! Sad beep intensifies. Clank begins to shudder, steam pours out of the gaps between his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe.
everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about the upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a dirty mug, spitting several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everybody? A tiny cocoa, it is a delicious treasure. So you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a city boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you. We're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane of Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feelings all the way. You're not going to saddle up a Colonel Sanders stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Horse not. Well, maybe. Sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for the both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup, and I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it. While you were prep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man, and this eviler counterpart Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of your recipe you've been working on, Spammals' famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders!
Spammals, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam.
Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success, so I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. Pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you.
Visualizing her? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious.
You would usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry. The last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires. But that decision gets hard to stick to. The oven timer goes off behind you. Fess up about your practice dish. Okay, it got me. Doing a little bit more than visualizing.
I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards.
That's an oddly specific distance, but you would expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was pot pie just from the smell?
Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. My nose is telling me something else.
Oh no. Is it burning?
No. I can smell that it was made with a heaping help of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out.
Moment of truth, everybody.
Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day.
There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules. That is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for a cook-off of all time. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are preparing wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10, with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, This is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air.
Egg wash!
Miriam furiously injects ingredients into her itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend, Baster Blaster! Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and ride! Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. Even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's the singularity as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-destruct. And Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own. You're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic? Even if it's almost certainly evil magic. If I've learned anything throughout this entire experience, it's one thing. Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm gonna do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room.
I believe in you, Spammals.
Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Spammals, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever. Turn to notice that Miriam is at your station, cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. She doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get an Eye of Newt from? Boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into dark clouds that thicken and congregate before your very eyes.
It is I, Steve, the Spork monster.
Steve? Wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you?
We Spork monsters are many. I think Gorko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle. So I'd say you're doing pretty all right. Oh, hey. You're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out?
I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve, the Spork monster, notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station.
I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summoned me, huh?
Yeah, you guessed it. Sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in the pot of salted water?
I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef. Actually, you know, when I was a little Spork pup back in the old country.
You can feel Spork monsters winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition.
I understand. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up...
You toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint.
Never mind. I'll tell you later. Good luck!
Having suffered this huge setback, you didn't know how you could ever win. You summon extra power from deep down within yourself. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for...
Yes, Spammals, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me.
The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue.
Sorry.
My heart is pure. My hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground, energy coursing through your body. You know that with this power, you can do anything except turn back time, which would be super useful, because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served. Don't worry, dear Spammals. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support.
I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches.
He steps up to your station and stands right beside you.
I'm here to help.
All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're gonna need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules?
Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart.
What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on.
And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts.
Are you suggesting?
If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union.
Time's up, students. The time expired. It's the moment everyone's been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop. Bank. From off screen, you can hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying! Sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside of the closet, you see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? Hey, when someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing as he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank in USC, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks. Clank! Where did that pressure cooker roll off to? You wait to hear a signature word beep wherever on the but there's none. Somehow he must have got unplugged. I guess we'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. After days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forwards. I'll describe your dish. I've made tender undom noodles in savory soup. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny narukudududum I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles! That's a green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of the pink dog tongue tip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all by myself. In a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with this much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Spammals, for helping me to believe in myself. Van, you're up. I'll describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an ex-Huon urchin shell topped with caviar. That looks repulsive. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. Bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is my kind of brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get the nose close on an account of all the spikes. Begins to pour at it erratically, causing the custard to sloosh around. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Youch, my tongue! The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. I can't eat. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour. Don't discount. This isn't the last you've heard of me! Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles gracefully laps up a bowl of milk. I know. I'm a dog and I don't drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm an agitated tongue. Next student! Ashley, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the foods at a cooking school? Hot toast in your ears or something, Spammals. I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it
and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating. School for the hungry. Sprinkles is not impressed. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep a two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me, Ava. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. When Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. Who chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese
has become something else.
Examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Whoa. I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I'd seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you pass. Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. New menu item is so impressive, even the Van and Ashley are drawn back in by its magnetic fragrance. They gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl. They admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. They were supposed to do more battles, but come on, how could they even better this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. Cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking area, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Jog in the house! You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van and Ashley tell everyone that they're committing themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh. Amusing. And now that everyone is together, it's the Spork monster. He totally mellowed out.
Everyone, the Spork monster is no more. From here out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster!
Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop! He arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. Crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we went and mailed it directly to your father. We figured it was the last we could do for the school's dean. Oh, I get it. And we get a new wing on the school. Not to mention the honor of educating the son of the Chancellor of Social. Music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance. Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from the faraway planet in another dimension. What? I actually feel like I knew this whole time. Oh, that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I have just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank. Blown away by Miriam's maturity, it's pretty clear she's managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives.
Howdy, classmates!
Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken.
This time it's a full meal!
I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken.
The end? Question mark? Oh, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor.
Spammals, what are you doing sitting all alone?
You know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance.
I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person?
Well, you know, off the top of my head, I don't know. Spicy musker, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning. Just to name a few things.
It truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me?
Yes, I would love to! As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you.
And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you, Spammals.
How sweet! We'll work together and play together! Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks.
Work together? I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself.
But who will help you run the restaurants?
I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forwards?
Could it be? You found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef. And you live with only half of him. Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love? The life of an entrepreneur. I suppose I could enroll at pastry school?
Oh, my dear Spammals, I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side.
And is it? Oh, this thing again. Well, this was I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking dating simulator. There was a big lack of dating. If anything, Colonel Sanders is an absolute chicken tease. There's a reference there. He played me for my chicken gravy potatoes. He used my emotions. I don't know. Miriam had a great time, though. That was fantastic for her, I suppose. Anyway, that was way longer than I was expecting. I've been recording now for 3 hours and 7 minutes, which is strange. I really thought this would be a 20-minute game, and I've totally blown out my voice doing all these voices. Not looking forward to editing this, if I'm honest. I'm in a rush because it's Christmas time and I've got to get videos done. And here I am spending 3 hours doing Colonel Sanders tomfoolery. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. I hope you enjoyed this different type of video. I don't really do visual novels like this, so don't get used to it. If you had a nice time, let me know down below. If you want to support the channel, we've got a t-shirt. Maybe pick one up. Maybe put it on. Feel proud that you're representing the Spammals. While you're at it, follow me on Twitter and tell me that you'll always be there by my side. On that bombshell, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.